Hi guys, welcome back to another Prepar3d version 5 video. Today we'll be flying the Just Flight Vickers Viscount. And that's a... let me just have a look quickly. I'm giving you the right info, but the Vickers Viscount... oh, that's the full name, Vickers Viscount. That was easy. Thought I was misremembering one of the numbers behind it. But yeah, this is a a really old aircraft, built in large numbers though, like 450 numbers, but I think it was introduced in 1948, or at least at the end of 1940s, so we're talking old. And this is not the Prepar3d version 5 native aircraft, it's an FSX aircraft, but that does work, at least to what I've seen, very nicely in Prepar3d version 5. And we are now actually, we've done the Lufthansa livery and we are at Stockholm Arlanda airport, and we're just gonna do a quick flight from here to Stockholm Bromma. Nobody would do this flight in real life, but I just thought this would be a nice flight to kind of showcase this one, because it is, I would say, still a bit of a light aircraft, but you do have you know, in terms of the texture on the outside, it's pretty good, you know, considering it's an FSX aircraft, not PBR. You do have the pilots here, very basic though, you can't see anything there. You do have a flight attendant, you do have this solution with the 2D and then some 3D, right, that we can see on some of these older aircrafts. And you have four turboprops. So this must be, I think it's turboprops. I think this must be one of the first, was the first turboprop powered airliner. Sorry, it entered service in 1953. It was manufactured from 1948 because that's when it took its first flight. But yeah, and let me just jump in. The cockpit is also very nice. I would say nicer than the HS748. I do think you can enter the cabin from here, so you see, very advanced and quite nicely done, I must say. So I'm not gonna be too critical. You see, you even have the flight attendant there, and you know, pretty well done. I mean, it looks better than the PMDG cabins, I would say, and some of the other aircrafts. I mean, you have the engines there, so a bit of the 3D model. And if I jump forward, let's see how much of the external model is modeled from the interior. Well, nothing in the front, unfortunately. But yeah, I guess everything you need for the kind of the cabin look. And let me just, I'm not gonna set any, I'm not gonna do any kind of ATC or similar. I'll just put on Pack X, so we do get that landing rate. I'm just gonna add Lufthansa boarding and safety. There we go, and then I'm gonna check the departure weather 1026. And let's see where we can set that that altimeter on this old. I'm wondering now. It's not that one. Where do you set the altimeter on this one? Must be, or maybe it's this one. Well, let's see. We might have to start some stuff, because I think most things are now kind of shut. So we have to start the master battery first. And let's see if that can help us set the altimeter. Doesn't seem like it does. But okay, minor hiccup. Pretty sure you are supposed to be able to set that altimeter, unless it's tied to the in-game one somehow. I guess that could be a In explanation, before I go any further, just wanted to mention, of course, we have the Orbex Arlanda, the FS Scenery Payware for the Real Knowledge for Sweden, and then we have the, and now I'm trying to think what their name is. Let me have a look. For Brumma, it's Brumma P3D. We have the FS software Brumma with a different AFCAD and stuff, because yeah, I couldn't get it to work properly. It's not gonna look good, but it's a doable airport. I'll have to tweak it a bit more and add, you know, taxiways and that sort of stuff. But yeah, if we go back into the aircraft, you'll see that a lot of switches are movable, so that's pretty nice. I don't think there is anything for external power or APU. Basically you can just kind of start without those. Not sure how realistic. I would guess we should have some. I only insert the Garmin here, right, as a 2D. But I don't think we'll need to use that. We can just kind of fly a VFR. You can move some of these things, so that's nice. In terms of here we have the fasten seat belt and no smoking, so those work pretty well. Emergency lights, inverters, de-icing, icing. A lot of these are working, so that's pretty cool. Not sure how simulated they are though, but at least you can switch them. I don't think if there's anything else here. And then of course you have the nav mode, so those do work. You'd even do have an autopilot that, at least when I was playing around with it, worked quite well. You just need to remember to go on altitude hold to get the vertical to work, at least to my experience. And you can set nav, I think you have approach, nav and heading mode. And if I am not mistaken, yeah, this is the heading one, so you can control the heading bug. So let's just put it forward. I think we're on runway 19 left. Yeah, 19 left, so we're a bit far away from the rest of the airport, which is here for Arlanda. But yeah, I think that's it in terms of the basics that I would want to talk about. I mean, not the highest system fidelity, but you know, okay. You do even have the wipers working, so look at this. All three wipers do work. Let's have a look from the outside. And look, they are even animated from the outside, so not bad actually. In terms of starting the engines, nothing too complicated. Let me just see, those are the throttles. You then have the propeller switches. And I think the only thing you need to do is you put that, the master starter. And that should be engine number 4. And then I think you just wait, because I think this is the fuel cutoff. The fuel pumps are on. And there you go. I'm not sure how good the... Oh wait, sorry. I think you wanna put those. Let me have a look if I am... I think it does work, let's see. Yeah, it looks good now. So then I think we can start the next one. So it's all kind of set up already. I guess you can switches down in case you want to do like some sort of cold and dark with a bit more fiddling. The autopilot is on, we can close it there. That was my mistake, I put it on. There you go, look at how close those are. I mean, they're basically hitting each other unless for the fact that one is further ahead of the other. Bit of an interesting sound. Could be that it's correct, but it's quite high pitched, I would say. Start engine number 2. Let me just have a look at this altimeter. Do we have any other altimeter that we can fiddle? No. Here you can control the course heading. There we go, we start engine number 2 as well, and then the last final one, engine number 1. So as you can see, not the highest fidelity aircraft. Let's see if engine number 1 starts. There we go. But it's, oh yeah, the Viscount 800, that's the number. So I guess there were different versions of it. Let me just have a look how many different there were. 630, 663, 800, improved variant with fuselage extended, so I think this is the 800 then. And then an improved longer range, 810. They were built between 48 and 63, so quite a long production run. It was based on the Vickers Viking actually. This version, 163 were built. Quite an interesting looking aircraft, a bit of like I see some similarities to the DC-3. And it actually led to the development of the Vickers Vanguard, which I think is a pretty cool looking aircraft. Kind of like old school. It looks quite big. Calling it cargo liner, yeah, I can see that. Right tire in 1996, they didn't have a long history though, but yeah. So I guess this one, the Vickers Viscount had its role, even having the Vanguard being developed after it. But yeah, not really the most crazy airplane. I'm just gonna quickly tweak here because I don't think we need full fuel. Should have done this of course before we started everything, but I'll do it now anyway. We have quite a high gross weight. Let's decrease a bit with our passenger loads as well. So we're not that heavy. And yeah, apart from that, I don't think there's any other plans. I'm gonna undock the GPS, hopefully it will work. I'm gonna put it down here on my other screen. Just to make sure that I have some sort of reference to where we're heading. And let me see if we do have if we do actually have the ESSBs, we can do try to think which one we should do. Runway 12 maybe. I'll show you the approaches. So we have the 12th. I think we can do this one with ILS, so 110.3 at 119.
The cabin is ready.
So 119 would be our course. We can just set that already. 119 and 110.3, and we can check that our it should be this one, right? So there we go, 110.3. We should see it here with the nav. So that's pretty cool. It's like this really old school one, right? Might remember that from, I think, the DC6 as well. Let me see if there's anything else. I think no, don't think there's any minimums either, so that's good to be aware of. It sucks with the altimeter though. Feels like that could be actually an FSX. Like it's probably not related to the Viscount being in a non-native sim basically. That could also of course impact, so I guess I'm not gonna say it's definitely because of that, but it's potentially. But yeah, apart from that, not much else. We can put on the landing lamps. We can have a check here, nose, landing lamp. Just gonna put that down. You can see those should be the landing lamps. In terms of other things to have on, I think that's most of the. I think if we have the pitot heats on, but I can't remember automatically which ones are the pitot heats on this one. It's not the easiest. I mean, it's not a bad setup aircraft, right? But it's quite a bit more messier than later aircrafts if you compare, for example, to the Boeing 737. But it's not the worst either. I've seen a lot worse. Let me see, what's that switch just at the end there? Master. Oh, but you can't move that. Okay. Oh well. And what's this one? Safety valve. Okay, I guess we can have that open. But yeah, that should be it. Let's set one flap level just for the takeoff. Should usually be sufficient. Oh, look at that actually. Engine number 1 isn't started. Oh, that's engine number 4. I'm sorry, guys. How come that one has... Oh, the fuel cut off. That's why. Sorry, guys. There we go. Now we have all 4 engines. Shouldn't run into trouble. And look at that. Let's see. I'm on 0 RPM. Throttle's all the way back, I think. So I'm not sure if the idle power was this strong with this one, or if it's just the aircraft being acting up a bit. Let me check this secure ground equipment. Oh yeah, with these you can get some outside things, like this cool little vehicle, Lufthansa logo and everything. So that's I guess if you want some immersion. But yeah, let's get going. No time to waste. I'll trim the aircraft up a bit, and we can try to get it a bit stable or towards the center line. Oh, it's a bit not the easiest to control. Okay, let's pitch up. So not too bad. It seems like at least flight model isn't just, you know, the Cessna flight model being remodeled. It does seem to have some some care put into it. You can't just basically roll, right? It's a bit sluggish, I would say. That's my main opinion actually of it. So a tad bit sluggish, which I guess it would be with an old aircraft such as this. I can remove the flaps. But yeah, pretty nice. I mean, it seems to work pretty nice. Maybe a bit on, like it feels a bit maybe too stable. I'm not sure. Could be, of course, that we don't really have any wind. Let's have a check on that. Well, not that much. So we're actually really close to ESSB. It's just gonna come up right here. I'm just gonna check what the approach. So minimum is at 219. I think it's around 2,500 feet. We're almost at 200. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try the autopilot just for the fun of trying it. I'm gonna move a bit the heading, which I moved here. So we'll have heading, autopilot on, altitude hold. Now we should be on heading mode, but doesn't feel like we are. Now we're on heading, we have to just reset it a bit. And we're also kind of stable here in terms of not climbing. So the altitude is handling quite well. Not sure exactly how the old one would have been, but I guess it's somewhat modeled after that. If we want to descend a bit, let me just see. I think you roll this a bit forward, but let's see. Or maybe you can with altitude hold. Maybe it's without. It's not the best actually. Maybe this one doesn't work that good. Let me see if I use altitude hold in my Logitech panel to. Okay, so you can't seem to do the vertical for reasons unbeknownst to me, but yeah, that's a bit annoying. You can see here we're coming up towards the runway. We can turn left.
We have begun our final descent into.
We're a bit below the glide slope. Okay, so that's quick. They're already preparing for the landing. So Pack X is doing what's needed. That's good to see. Let me just put in the visual approach activated so I can see also what we're aiming for. We are gonna want to turn. I am gonna slow down quite a bit. Let's see. We're really having a hard time bleeding off the speed though with this one. I mean, we're almost at 250 knots. Don't have any spoilers, but I guess I'm not sure how good the the throttles are. It feels like our RPM is a bit bugged. There we go. We just need to drop the landing gear to get that beeping out. Now I did miss the airport by quite a bit. So our turn was a bit too slow. There we have the airport of Bromma, right in the city. I think it's actually gonna be closed here at some point soon. Or soon and soon, but I think the city has terminated the agreement for the airport, so it might be closing relatively soon. Okay, let's see. I can put in a bit of thrust. So I'm not sure actually about the RPMs. I do though remember having some issues with this plane. It's how would you say, it's a it's a plane that you can kind of notice is unfinished in a bit, in a sense, even though it is quite
One of the passengers isn't feeling well.
quite
It's
iconic.
probably best to try to
Oh.
get help as soon as possible.
Well,
How do you want to handle it?
that's what we're landing. I guess we're reaching our minimums now as well. Minimums. Yeah, let's get down. So as you can see, this kind of default runway that I just inserted myself in order to have something that works for the airport. Let's see if we can get down enough. We can't really, it's the speed. We'll have to do a go around. So yeah, a bit tricky. And we're just gonna fly. We're just gonna do a bit of a circling maneuver and go back on runway 30, I think. Let's see, I don't wanna increase the speed too much. We'll have beautiful Stockholm here to our left. Doesn't look as good in P3D as some of the other major cities. What happened to the... Oh, there it goes. So the engine sounds aren't the best on this one. At least I know it kind of scares me from time to time. Let's see if we can. I'm gonna drop the gears again. Let's see if we can do this. Can we turn steeply enough? Almost deeply enough. We're doing some odd, or odd and odd, but doing some non-procedural turns here. Let's see now. I'm guessing around 100 with this sort of an aircraft. Maybe a bit more in terms of the flaps. I'm actually not sure how low the flaps go with this one. Okay, let's see now. Okay, we are looking okay. A bit low maybe. Not the easiest to land though. My god. Look at that. Look at that. He must have touched down with the nose first. That's my only logic for that.
Paramedics will be boarding the aircraft to assist the passenger. Please remain.
Oh yeah, we had the medical emergency. We probably should have just slammed it down for that passenger. But oh well. Fast enough. But yeah, this was a really short flight. This aircraft is okay, but it does have some bugs. I just thought I could show it because I think these are kind of the same bugs that you have in the FSX version. Like the RPMs pick up too quickly, all sort of stuff, but yeah. It's not really my favorite aircraft. I don't think the tiller works either. Let me see if we have a nose wheel steering on this one. No, but okay, that's interesting. So basically that could explain why we have a hard time to yeah, it's the tiller isn't really functioning with this one. It does give some odd effects, so I guess this is probably P3D. But when you use the rudder, it seems to behave a bit better, the aircraft. So that's just a good FYI. Look at that, we have some bra ATRs here. If we would have used Ultimate Traffic Live, we would definitely have some Malmö Aviation. I think it's Avro RJs, but I'm not 100% certain. We would have had a few of those here, at least what I can remember. I think it's waiting for me now. How good is the ATR? Well, it's not a bad model, but it's definitely not one of the better ones I've seen for the AIG manager. As you can see, we don't really have any taxiways, and we can't really see the parking spots either, so a bit of a... Sorry guys. Took out both the pilot and the co-pilot there. Look at the size difference though, Jesus. I didn't think this one was a big aircraft at all, but maybe I was wrong. Potentially with the ATR maybe being a bit, I'm not sure how, you know, the model, right, the size of the model, could be that this one is also too big, right? I'm not really sure how they kind of make sure that the size is in proportion. We'll just stop here. Let me jump inside and then I'll just shut the engines. I just do it by cutting off the fuel like this. Quick and easy. I'll open the door. I'll just have a look at oh yeah, we should have probably... Okay, deboarding 137, cardiac related. Oh, that is not good. I can save that, because why not? Let me just close the door and we'll have a quick look at the replay. I'm thinking with some of these aircrafts that I'm not the biggest fans of, but I still think they should be shown. I'm gonna do these kind of shorter videos, just so you can see a bit of them. And it's easier, of course, for me to just make a shorter one. So let me see if I go 260. Now we need to go further back. This is gonna be an atrocious landing. You could have watched the missed approach as well, but... So first things first, we should have crabbed a bit. Let me have a look. And we do flare. So we do touch down actually first with the back wheel, so that's actually good. We don't touch it with the front, but my god, was that... I'm not sure if the props hit the... Well, there they would definitely have hit the ground. The wing also hit it. My god. Just awful. I'm not sure if it's related to the plane itself. Or maybe I'm just bad at landing. But yeah, I mean, all aircraft like these, you probably want to come in very stable, right? Make sure you hit the ground firmly and kind of get that nose down. All wheels on the ground, but yeah, I missed that memo. But yeah, I think that was it with this Lufthansa Vickers Viscount 800. Short and sweet. It is an interesting model. I'll give them that. Let me see how you do even have some nice viewpoints that you can kind of set in right with the with the engines. But yeah, not one of my top aircrafts. This is extremely light. It's an old add-on though, so keep that in mind, from Just Flight FSX native. But if you're a big fan, of course, of turboprops, and specifically British turboprops, this is about the best that's out there. I'm trying to think if there's anything more. I mean, we have some freeware ones, the Ambassador, the HS, of course, from Just Flight. But let me put it this way: the HS748, I think it was, right? Let me have a look. Yeah, HS748. This one is the Just Flight version of that. This is much, I would say, much better and more refined. Even though I think texture-wise, this one does hold up very well. You know, having the cabin, having a pretty nice cockpit with a lot of switches that are actually movable, but the simulation depth doesn't really seem to be in there. So that's yeah, it's just a lot of switches. Not being able. Well, look at that. I think this one might be a bit bugged because it was it was different, but then it kind of resets to 0. Could be, of course, that's kind of how it worked in these old planes, but I doubt it for some reason. But yeah, short and sweet. I think it's a cheap add-on though, so if you get it, I don't think it's gonna be a lot of money down the bin if you then don't like it, but just be cautioned. But yeah, hopefully you like this video. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to provide them. Maybe not in relation to the landing, but that one was atrocious. I'm not gonna defend that one. We can see the ATR taking off here in the background, so it's pretty cool. But yeah, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of the day, and see you until next time. Let's see what I'll find next. Bye bye.